Yeah, please turn off. Yeah, just unplug it. Just unplug the wire, you know. So sometimes my English is not so good. So if you don't understand something, please you stop me. Don't be shy. You stop me and you ask me again. Okay? No problem. I want you to understand what I say. So just good. Okay? Perfect. Okay. So first of all, I want to tell you something about the history which is here. In fact, you're walking absolutely on the history, upon the history. People living here since 42,000 years old. In this place, in place of Lacoste. I'm going to show you in my house. We try to show you all the flint and the blade I found for these times. So you have to imagine people living since these times with no stop. So if you look carefully on the floor when you walk, as I made yesterday when I was, you remember when I make you the visit of the Maison Basse, I came back yesterday to push a guy who was in the, and I just find a little flint like that, 40,000 years old, just on the floor. It was just like that. So if you look carefully, you may find a lot of stuff, coins, flint, hammer, stone hammer, plenty of stuff like that. You can have a look if you want. And also you saw the Pont Julien and how the history is here, and I'm going to talk to you about the history inside of my house. So now I'm going to talk about the mosaic, the way to doing, some stuff I made, some stuff ready to fly to States, which are in the other room, which is smoky and the cold, but we are going to go to take this way. Then after all your question, we try to go inside of my house, and there is a kind of a little brunch with pain au chocolat, tea, coffee, Coke stuff for the people who want. And I may show you the collection of stuff I found. So the first mosaic we found was from the Greek, 5,000 before Christ, and was made with stone, black and white, just pushed into the floor. But after the Roman people came and they make wonderful kind of mosaic to make as a carpet. You know, it was supposed to be a carpet first. Then after when in the Dark Age, after the Dark Age, as there is the picture of God inside the mosaic, the people were not allowed to walk on it, so it became something upon the wall. Okay, so to make the mosaic, before they need to make a special bed of clay, you know, a very complicated clay with broken tiles, kind of little stone, everything mixed with clay, moisture. And after you have three kind of people coming. You have first is a magister pictura, what we call. It's the guy who makes the design. Then you have the guy who decide for the color. Then you have the slave. We know for sure the rate the people were paid, because we find some trace of that. And to give you an example, if I make a translation now with the value of today, the guy who make the design, the magister pictura, own the value of a chicken a day. The guy will decide for the color the value of half a chicken a day, and the slave the value of 2 wings of a chicken. So you have the proportion of the work, not the value of the work. So when they make this kind of clay, bed clay, the guy makes the drawing, and after they call the slave, and the slave puts a little tessella, you know, the mosaic is made with little tessella, little cube, like that, and the people, they push the little tessella inside of the clay. But they have to go all in the same way and the same times, and we know that some people into the slave team are making only a color for the entire life. That means there was a guy working for the blue, for example, and this guy was only pushing the blue inside of the mosaic. Can you imagine the life of the guy pushing only the same color with entire life? So when everything is very flat, but the time was not the same as the time we have now, because they can spend 3 years, 4 years making mosaic. It was not the same thing. Now, when the people ask me a mosaic, it's for yesterday. You know, they ask, they want for this summer. Last week, somebody called me and wants something for the pool for this next summer. You know, the time, the value of the time is not the same. So you can understand that I can work alone that way. And fortunately for me, a guy named Salviati, it was an Italian, and Facchina were the people working for the Opéra Garnier in Paris. Maybe you are going to visit it. I don't know if you go to Paris. Maybe it's inside of the plan. And if you go to visit, it's a wonderful place. But you have, when you're in front of the huge stair, you have to turn yourself and to walk on the wall and the ceiling and hold the mosaic, the wonderful one there here, made for during the time of Napoleon III. And this guy invents something wonderful. I'm the three guys in the same one. Look, so I'm the guy we decide for the drawing, okay? And after I'm the guy we decide for the color. And after that, I take some wood glue. So I work on big paper. I put the paper on the board. So this is wood glue, you know, just regular wood. And I put the glue inside. It's frozen, yeah. So I put the glue inside of the paper, and I push my little tessella inside, following the color I decide to make. Okay? Everybody follow this way of working? So when everything is done, when everything is dry, I make a iron board around it on the table, and I cover everything on my work with cement. Everything disappears into the cement, and I wait for drying. And when it's dry, because it's very heavy with a kind of chain like that, I flip it over. And the fact is that all the mosaic are on the same level. That means that I may use mosaic thick like that in the same work, thick like that, and thick like that. At the end, everything is going to be inside of the cement. Do you understand that? This is the most important thing, because you can use that for your own work. I make some try. Here, for example, I broke this one, but it was a try I made. You know, I did it with a man. I did it with screw. You know, the screw here, and piece of glasses. I make the same thing. Instead to put the mosaic, I glue the screw, then I cover everything by cement, and when turning back, everything is flat, there is no difference of size. Okay for that? Well, I forgot to tell you a little story. When I begin to tell you about the history, I forgot to tell you that, so I'm going to tell you that now. No question for that? Nobody is frozen? Okay? Don't be shy. Yes, I want to tell you a story. I like this story. It's happened to a friend of mine who are archaeologists. I have plenty of archaeologist friends. I'm living with plenty of guys like that. And it's happened 3 years ago, and on the border, Italian border, they were walking into a cave, you know, for an excavation. And the cave was, I've been there, it was kind of as a bottle, you know, like that. And the floor of the cave was covering by little piece of stone like that, which coming when they made the blade, you know, when they made the hammer. For example, this blade, when they made this blade, the pieces they cut, you know. All the floor, and this is coming from the floor, was covering by this thick like that. Only 3 pieces, three spots like that. You know, 3 circles like that, clear, clean, nothing inside. So the people, they work a lot, maybe 2 months on this. They try to take the dimension to see if it was a kind of cult, if it was a track of a post, if there was a kind of something geometrical or something. They work, they can't find it. Does anybody has an idea what it was? Just I want to tell you the story to tell that the story is very close of us. It was just a trace of the hearts of the people walking. That means they were three together in front of, talking and walking in the same place. And all the things, the piece around it, just the place where there was seats, it was clear. You understand?
It was worn. It was worn away.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because they sit on the same place all the time.
Right.
So everything was covered. Only the place where there used to be seats.
Wow.
And we tried to understand why the body was clear. It was very easy, you know. It was the life of these people. You understand? Also, I want to tell you also something about. All this kind of stone or marble are coming from Roman Villae. It's all the stuff the people they left after excavation. I'm going to show you. I can say I'm a little bit famous, but for the fact, instead for the fact that plenty of my work are made with Roman tiles. That means that I go after the excavation, when I finish the archaeological excavation, and I collect all the little piece of marble or terracotta I don't want, and I cut it after. I'm going to show you the way, and I make. For example, this one is everything is Roman inside, all the terracotta. So collecting.
Jean Pierre, how far away do you go for your material?
Oh, everywhere, until Italy. Every time I go somewhere, you know, I used to collect some. 2 years ago, we were with Kate and Brian, who were invited in Chambord, and they make travel and they trash plenty of terracotta from the castle, so I collect it. You know, every time I saw terracotta, but here the fact is, 1 mile from here, there was a huge field, and it was a kind of market, I think, because I found so many coins in the middle of nowhere, and in fact the field was the same distance than all the other old village. So I think people they meet here, and I find plenty of tiles.
And
so
you can take anything you find.
Yeah.
There's not regulations.
yeah, there is a regulation. If I find something important, I am not able.
Okay.
And the other regulation, I'm the vice mayor, so make the rules. No, it's not true. No, I take care. When I find something nice, I call my friend. But yeah. And what I want to tell you about the stuff I found, it's funny because inside of this, there's the one, I don't know where, every time I'm looking.